My name is Jake, and I lived in Millbrook, a small town in Ohio. This happened 3 years ago when I was 24. I'm telling this story because I still think about it every day. I had just moved to Millbrook for a new job at the local factory. The rent was cheap, and the place seemed quiet. My apartment was on the second floor of this old house, split into 3 units, the kind where you can hear every creak and pipe rattling. The first week was normal. Wake up, work, come home, eat frozen dinner, watch TV until I fell asleep. I remember thinking how different it was from the city. Here, the silence was thick, like it was waiting for something. But then I started noticing things. My upstairs neighbor. I never saw him, ever. But I could hear him walking around at night. Heavy footsteps, back and forth, always around 2 a.m. The weird part was, it sounded like he was dragging something. Not furniture, just something that scraped across the floor. It reminded me of my grandmother dragging her oxygen tank, but heavier somehow. I'm not usually the type to complain about noise, but this was different. So regular. Every single night. Same time, same pattern. Like clockwork. I asked the landlord about it when he came to fix my leaky faucet. He got this weird look and said there was no upstairs neighbor. The 3rd floor was empty. Had been for months. I thought maybe he was lying to avoid complaints. But then I checked the mailboxes downstairs. Only 2 names. Mine and Mrs. Chen from the 1st floor. No 3rd name anywhere. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept listening for the footsteps. And sure enough, around 2 a.m., there they were. Thud, 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 scrap. The sound echoed through the walls, like whoever was up there was walking in circles. I grabbed a flashlight and went outside to look up at the 3rd floor windows. They were all dark. No lights, no movement, not even a shadow. But I could still hear the footsteps from where I stood in the yard, clear as day, coming from that supposedly empty apartment. The next morning I ran into Mrs. Chen getting her mail. She was this sweet old lady, probably in her 70s, always had a kind word and a smile. I asked her about the noise upstairs, trying to sound casual. Her face went pale. She looked around like someone might be listening, then whispered, "You hear it too?" Turns out she'd been hearing the same thing for 2 months. She'd called the landlord multiple times, but he always said the same thing. Empty apartment, no one there. She'd even asked him to check it out, but he always had some excuse. We decided to go check it out ourselves. Mrs. Chen had a key to the building's main areas because she sometimes helped the landlord with repairs. The staircase to the 3rd floor was dusty. Really dusty. Our footprints were the only ones. At the top, there was just one door. Mrs. Chen tried her key, but it didn't work. The door was locked tight. But here's the thing. We could hear breathing. Slow, heavy breathing, coming from inside. And underneath that, a faint scratching sound, like fingernails on wood. Mrs. Chen grabbed my arm so hard I thought she might break it. We both ran back downstairs, and I haven't felt that scared since I was a kid. That night, I couldn't take it anymore. The footsteps started again at 2 a.m., but this time I heard something else. A voice. Quiet, but I could make out words. Coming down, coming down, coming down, over and over. I packed a bag and drove to a motel that night. Stayed there for 3 days. When I came back, Mrs. Chen was gone. Her apartment was empty. The landlord said she'd moved out suddenly. Family emergency. I tried to find her, but the landlord wouldn't give me any information. Said it was private. I stayed in that apartment for another month. Every night, 2 a.m., the footsteps. But now they were different. Lighter. Like someone smaller was walking around up there. And sometimes I'd hear 2 sets of footsteps. I moved out after that. Didn't even give notice. Just left my keys on the kitchen counter and drove away. Last year I drove through Millbrook again. Just curious. The house was boarded up. Big sign out front said, "Condemned, do not enter." I stopped at a gas station to ask what happened. The clerk said there'd been a fire. 3rd floor burned completely. 2 bodies found. They'd been dead for months, he said. Maybe years. I never went back to find out more. Some things you're better off not knowing. but I still wake up sometimes at 2 a.m. And I listen, just to make sure I don't hear those footsteps above me.